All right. Today is going to be a good one. We're going to talk about other people's opinions. It's something I think most of us wonder about, or we're likely we let influence how we live and how we show up. So today I want to dig into how to be ourselves and how to find true connections being who we are. So it's some good stuff. But first, let me introduce myself. I'm Val. I'm a mom. I'm a corporate leader, cancer survivor, and a certified life and leadership coach. And, I'm here to help driven women get unstuck and achieve their goals, whether those are at work or at home, and ultimately help people transform the way they live and the way that they work so that each one of us can live the big life that I know we were created and meant to live. So let's get started on talking about other people's opinions. A quote that my coach, Brooke Castile, always says is, you can be the juiciest peach in the world, but there's always going to be someone who doesn't like peaches. And a couple things, you're probably thinking, what do peaches have to do with other people's opinions? But let me tell you, the funny thing about this quote is I actually don't like peaches. In fact, I prefer nectarines, not a big fan of the fuzz on the peach skin. So anyway, as we talk about peaches and other people's opinions, it's kind of funny that I'm actually someone who doesn't like peaches. But what does that quote mean? Just you can be the juiciest peach in the world, but there's always going to be someone like me who doesn't like peaches. How does that relate to other people's opinions? Well, if you think about it, we spend so much of our time trying to control what other people think of us, and we're worried about what they might think. But the truth is, their opinion is none of our business, and we have absolutely no control over it. That peach has no control over whether or not I like it or not. So why worry about it? The only thing that we have control over is our thoughts about their opinions. So no matter how much we lie or pretend or, twist ourselves into something we're not, ultimately, they're still going to think what they're going to think. They may say one thing, but we really never know what they're really thinking. When we try so hard to control what people think of us by acting a certain way or dressing a certain way, we, in the end, aren't even showing up as ourselves. We're not showing up as a peach and letting it just be. We're showing up as some version of ourselves that isn't even us. So what I want to offer to you today is to think about what would happen if you just decided to show up as yourself. If you embrace the things that you love, if you embrace the things that you like to do and your beliefs, and you quit pretending and acting, and instead you show up thinking, this is how I was made. This is who I am. If you like me, great. If you like peaches, great. If not, it doesn't bother me. I don't care. Did anyone care at the beginning of this when I said I don't like peaches? No one cared. It's just not my flavor. That's all. So what if you thought, I get it. I'm a peach and you don't like peaches. Not the peach's fault. Not my fault. That's about you and what you like. And we can be okay with that. When we show up as ourselves, when we show up as the best peach we can be, peach lovers easily find us. And the connections that we have with people are so much more genuine and so much more real. People that don't like peaches just move along. They move like me and they go find some nectarines. And that's okay, because don't we want to be with people that we have these great connections with, where we can be our true selves with the people and have these deep connections. So remember this. You don't get to be the one to decide whether or not someone likes you. It's up to the other person and their life experiences and their preferences. So giving them permission in your mind to not like you can be a total game changer. It's a reminder that, oh yeah, it's okay. They don't like peaches. It's nothing personal. It's not about me. And I think that's where we need to, move to, is it's not about us, and that who we are is really, truly great just as we are, and that we're worthy just as we are. The reason we don't want people to not like us is because of what we make it mean. We make it mean that we're unlikable. But remember, that opinion of you has nothing to do with you. I'm going to say that again. Their opinion opinion of you has nothing to do with you. It's just what their preference is, and you can't change that. So here's my final thought on other people's opinions. Be willing to put yourself out there enough so that people do have an opinion of you. People either are going to like you or not like you. If you're showing up in a big way, you're going to have haters. That's just the way it goes. I mean, that's just the way, if you have an opinion, some people are going to agree and some people aren't. And think about this at work, what that might mean. If you speak up in a meeting and share your opinion that maybe is different, you know what? That could get shot down. And isn't that okay? But it could also be an idea that someone hasn't thought about that moves your team or your company in a better direction. So what's the harm in sharing a new idea or a different perspective or a different opinion? In fact, I would argue that diversity of thought, that diversity of idea is what makes us great, is what makes companies and teams and us as individuals great. And you don't know if you don't show up and if you don't show up and share those ideas. Okay, like I'm doing here, I want to share that this is kind of me being an example of what this is like. I'm sharing how coaching has made this big difference in my life. And I'm putting out these videos. And some people might think, oh my gosh, that's just woo-woo. Life coaching is woo-woo. That's okay. They might not like my videos, but guess what? They're probably still not listening anyway. Those aren't my people. They like peaches instead of nectarines maybe. And I'm a nectarine. So, in the end, when we're okay with other people's opinions and criticisms, that's when we start to take off. What you'll be willing to do and the risks you'll be willing to take for yourself will catapult you into a whole new level of growth when you're not so worried about whether people like peaches or nectarines or whether they like your opinions or not. A great example I had this week is the founder of the company that I work for talked about some of the secrets that he's had over the course of the last 40 years that have allowed him to be this founder of this large organization, which is still privately held. And one of the things he said is be the single member of that club of one. Don't let other people, whether that's your competitors or other people, influence who you truly are. And I thought that was so great. It was an example of how if we are our true selves, we can create something great. And he was his true self and helped the company be its true self until it's continued to grow over the course of the 40 years to be something truly great. And that's what I want for you. So give it a try. Be you, be okay with people not liking peaches, and go see what happens. Take care. And thanks for joining me.